Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Apothecary Diaries. This is episode 5 and episode 6. I'm excited to jump into this. I have really enjoyed Apothecary Diaries so far. I'm not enjoying saying its name a bunch because I always mess it up. But Apothecary. It's simple, Apothecary. The problem is sometimes when I'm writing it, I write like... What do I even write? I think I write apothecary sometimes when I'm typing it. So you know, keep an eye out in like titles or descriptions. I might make a stupid spelling error. But I'm really enjoying the show so far. It's been a lot of fun. It's been emotional. It's had great characters. And I'm super excited to jump into it today. My only concern, and I only say this because I like to be upfront about how I'm feeling and thinking going into these videos, because I think a big part of reaction videos is I'm trying to give you like an authentic representation of my experience watching these shows. My only concern is that today I am kind of tired, and I wonder, like, a show like this, which is so low-key, you know, like, right now it's the end of the day. I haven't had any caffeine all day. Like, this is the first day that I haven't had caffeine in a long time, and it's been a long day. So I'm thinking, like, is it possible that I'm gonna, like, fade out partway through this episode and you know, have struggle sometimes to keep attention? I'm gonna try my best to have that not happen, but I'm just saying in advance, you know, that's my concern, because this is kind of a slower show overall. But you know, I have really been enjoying it, so I'm hoping that it's just going to capture my attention just by on account of the quality of the show. So I think we're just going to jump into it. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, subscribing, and you can go to my Patreon account if you want not only the full-length reactions, which means you just sync it up with your own footage, you watch the whole episode with me. You don't only get that, you get that in early access, which means you can get the next episodes of Apothecary Diaries on there right now. So if you can't wait for next week, just jump on my Patreon account and you can get it in a full-length version right now. It's great. You can also check out my Jent Watches One Piece channel and check out a bunch of other videos on this channel as well. But here we go, jumping into Apothecary Diaries. This is episodes 5 and 6. Let's start with episode 5. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. We did see this. Oh my gosh.
You've improved, Boston. Well done.
It's insane how different he looks with his hair tied up and everything else.
Better than I am. I see. Well, that's good.
Like I said, it's poison. Are you too dumb to see that?
Crazy
I didn't
scene.
expect to see that side of her.
Neither did I.
I knew I'd find
I was about to say, she's gonna be so ecstatic right now. This is probably the best part of her day.
We're here too. But before I figure that out, wow, it looks amazing.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming through as
that does look
usual,
good.
Maomao. And it's even more special when it feels like a real tea party.
Oh, I love her friend
You
so
should be
much.
eating lots. A military officer who is infamous for hating women. Wow.
Wow.
She used an aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac?
Now she's interested.
That one.
Yeah.
Delicious matsutake mushrooms, wow!
You seem quite delighted by their presence.
Let's do this right.
These two are getting along better now.
Soy paste and salt.
Life is strange. Somehow I have managed to become close friends with the quack
That's
doctor.
what I was just saying.
Pour in some soy paste, salt. Here.
Oh,
Having him taste it first. You're the you're taster, royal
Now
taster.
he's an accomplice.
I think that
That
what
you're
I mean to say
poisoned.
is, can you remove curses?
You can remove poisons, maybe.
What's troubling you? Well, it all started 2 nights ago. I was near one of the trash pits on the west side of the rear palace.
Okay.
What's that? A dress.
Now that I know what kind of
These
show this
leaves are
is,
burnt.
I'm trying to
What are
like
these
figure it
wooden
out.
writing tablets?
And then
Oh, shit. Okay. Is it something like you're allergic to?
That's what's wrong with my hand.
Like some sort of chemical you're allergic to that you can throw in the fire?
Oh. But what in the world are you showing us?
It's like how
Witchcraft.
fireworks are created.
She's a witch!
I think it caused the rashes when you touched them.
Got it.
Try this medicine, and let us know how it works.
Thank you.
That'd be so relieving if you
These
think it's like a
medicines are
curse.
perfection.
And she's
You'll
like,
be
no,
done
it's
in
a,
no time.
it's a regular thing.
Full job as always, Apothecary.
Why, it's Master Jent.
You can call her by her name, by the way. You don't have to
I'll
call
go
her
and fetch you a cup of
Apothecary all the
tea.
time.
What brings you here today?
Isn't it alright if I just want to stop by and not talk business?
Not really, not alright to
Honestly,
her.
Absolutely not.
Thank you for waiting, Master Jent. Oh.
Oh.
But that's all I know. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
This
If
seems
that's all you need, I hope
science,
you'll
more
excuse me.
science oriented.
No, wait.
Senku would
What
be
is
good
it?
here.
People would only use something like that for something secretive. But what could that be?
I have no idea.
None of my business, I guess. Nothing a food taster should be concerned with.
You'll end up solving it by the end of the episode, I reckon.
Would you please try this on for me?
This can't be good.
Cute.
Well, isn't it obvious? It's your special dress for the garden party.
Garden
Nice.
party? It's upper first-rank concubines.
Yes, the four highest.
What if he gets
ranking
interested in Mao
concubines,
Mao?
The most likely to be empress. Four most worthy contenders.
Cool.
Li Shu, virtuous consort. Ador,
Li Shu?
pure consort. Last time, Lady
Li Shu
Gyokyo
looks quite
and
young.
Lady Li Hua couldn't attend.
We're invited as guests, and we're simply expected to follow the Emperor, nothing more, nothing less.
There
Great.
are often in your best interest to smile a bit.
Not really her specialty unless she's looking at
Everyone
ingredients.
required to attend this thing.
Of course they are! This is Princess Lingley's first public appearance! Binds. This is an out-and-out war, and we have to brace ourselves! Let's do this!
The newbie can't sit this out. Besides, if there's a meal, the taster is indispensable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess you do need to stuff the chest area a little.
No, she doesn't.
Your waist too. Is that all right?
I'm in your hands.
You should hide your freckles every now and then.
No! I like the freckles.
Hang out.
What is it you're making?
Candy made with ginger and oranges.
Candy.
Damn, man.
Orange peels improve blood flow, and ginger is an all-natural warming anti-inflammatory.
It's cool that she just makes
wait, is
candy
that
and
for the
chocolate and all that stuff.
Yeah. I went ahead and sewed pockets in my underrobe,
Oh.
putting...
Maomao.
Huh?
Please, make some for us.
That's so much work,
sure
surely.
thing.
Isn't she gonna be working for ages?
Stifle the simplest ideas,
That's true.
but a little bit of work can make things a lot better.
Although, to be fair, she doesn't
Come
mind
in.
working, I
I
think.
would like one myself if I may.
Okay,
Myself as
except
well.
if it's working for Jinchi.
Please teach me how to make one of those.
If you would.
It's just, like, she's just so, like, she thinks for herself so often. And since she thinks for herself, she actually just does things that are super convenient for everyone.
You outshine all the others.
Thank you so much. And these are for
You
all
just have
of you.
a lot of hype men.
I have to make sure so that you don't attract any bad bugs.
Aw.
Maomao,
What's her mark?
I want you are my special lady in waiting.
Aw. Cute.
Got her!
Oh no.
Wait.
The makeup?
Makeup time!
Yeah.
It's time to be cuter
I
than
like
ever.
that they have to hold her
Now
down.
wipe your face, apply some sense, and deal with those freckles. There!
No, her freckles. What?
They caught me.
Are the freckles fake or something?
Alright, let's go.
That would be wild if she was like putting on freckles to make herself less desirable.
Concubine Li Shu, I will see you at the party.
Of course!
Yeah, here, Lishu.
Master Jinshi.
She looks quite young.
He seems to favor concubine Gyokyo.
I
Could
think
be because of his favorite toy.
I think he favors Maomao.
He can
And
be
so,
so troublesome.
since Maomao works for Gyokyo.
Your gorgeous yet somehow mysterious style must stem from your jade eyes. Yes, that must be your secret.
I wonder if she ever gets tired of being
You're too kind.
complimented every time she's seen by any single person.
Now to check in on the princess.
Oh my god. Aww. I miss her freckles,
Master
but
Jinshi.
Oh, it's the apothecary. Are you wearing makeup?
No, why do you ask?
It seems you're You mean you covered them with makeup?
My makeup's gone and so are my freckles.
oh,
It sounds like you're contradicting yourself.
my makeup's
I'm
gone.
confused.
This is
Like-
annoying. I start by putting dried clay on my face to add my freckles.
Okay, she does
Every
add
time
the
you had seen me
freckles.
before this,
But
I'd
the
already
rest
put
is
on
surely
makeup.
makeup.
It's to prevent being dragged into a back alley.
Yeah.
I lived near the brothels, but not every
I-
man left satisfied.
I do
Some had
get why she would
wallets,
do this.
Violent tendencies and diseases. They can't tell and they really don't care.
This show really
Doesn't that
dips
make
into
you
a lot of
angry?
dark shit,
Of course it makes me angry.
but there's not
But
much you
it's
can
not
do
your
about it.
fault, and
I'm sorry.
I mean, look around you, dude.
Right,
Women
he's being
around
real
probably
for
have
once.
so many similar stories. Oh, she finally has
Hold it,
some
that
sort
hurt.
of interest in him
But it's
because he's
yours.
being genuine.
I'll see you at the party.
Okay, all right. They can get closer if he like drops the act.
Gorgeous. So jealous. I want a man's hairpin too.
I could give it away, but how would I split this?
Oh, it would appear that you are no longer mine alone.
Oh shit!
All right then.
Did
so
you
what does that
accept a
mean?
proposal? Oh my god. Oh, this is very ominous. That's the whole episode? That was 24 minutes. Holy shit. All right, good episode. I really enjoyed that. And it really flew by. Like, I remember when I said at the start of the video, like I was afraid my attention was going to fade throughout the episode or whatever. I don't think that happened once in the episode. It kept me engaged the entire time, and then it ended. And it was like, it really, it just really kept me hooked the whole time. So great. This is a really good sign if this show is keeping me attached like that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So what do I talk about first? I mean, I guess we'll go kind of backwards through the episode, because I think my fresher thoughts right now, the ones that are still sticking in my mind, are like in some of the scenes towards the end. So we have Maomao talking about how her freckles are fake, which is sad to me. It's very sad. But you know, if she doesn't actually have freckles, then I can't be sad when she doesn't have freckles, because then that's technically her natural face. But the thing that is kind of confusing-ish to me is and I want to go back and like read exactly what she said in this section, so I don't so I'm not being stupid. So she said, hang on, I'm trying to get to the exact part of the scene. He says, "Are you wearing makeup?" And she says, "No, why do you ask?" So she's specifically saying, this is my face not wearing any makeup. Now I get the freckles, they weren't real. I get that much. But does this mean that her lips are naturally like this and her eyes are naturally like this? Because that is kind of wild, isn't it? Like this feels like this feels like this is certainly makeup. So it like I'm just trying to get a grasp of exactly what that what that scene is, because like if it was like, oh, you covered your freckles with makeup, and then she said no, I didn't, then like that makes sense. But like specifically he said like, are you wearing makeup, and she said no. So I guess her eyes just look like that. Her eyes and her lips. Because that would be kind of wild. But anyway, so I also find, I mean, there's some good symbolism there of like when she removed her makeup. Like now she's finally showing Jinshi her real face. The like nice symbolism I think there is that then Jinshi is talking to her and he shows like this vulnerability where he like is instead seemingly not trying to seduce her or not trying to like be cheeky or whatever, and he just genuinely like she says, I put on this makeup to make myself uglier so that I'm less desirable, so that I don't get kidnapped and horrible things happen to me in the back alleys. And he looks at her and goes like, holy shit, I'm genuinely sorry. I wish we could do more to make sure that you didn't have to worry about that stuff. And so like we get to see him being more vulnerable because he's genuinely shocked by that news, and that's the first time that I feel like Maomao has ended a conversation with him and not been like, this guy's a fucking tool. So like it does show, you know, the parts of Jinshi that Maomao hates is like the very fake parts of his personality, the parts where he's like trying so hard to be a good boy and to please everyone and to be cheeky and to be funny and to be cute, but like when he's just like chatting to her normally, then they might have a thing going. So I really liked that. And when I say a thing going, I don't necessarily mean romantically, I just mean they have like chemistry, even if it's platonic chemistry. But I do feel like this show is eventually going to be skewing more romantic as it goes on. You know, I do recognize that he's a eunuch, so I don't know how far it will go, but we'll see. So, but I liked that part of it. But I also think it's interesting, like, well, it's not interesting, it's actually quite common, but the idea of like, this is stuff that happens to Maomao, this is stuff that happens to a lot of people out there, especially women, mostly women. And you know, he's saying it like he's hearing this, and then he's like going, oh my god, like almost like he's hearing it for the first time. And really, I think it's one of those things that, you know, like he probably doesn't have many people telling him about this. Like it looks like his closest relations are with like higher ranking people generally. And when he's talking to like lower ranking people, they're probably not going to be telling him their problems, like their real problems. So he probably just hasn't been exposed to this at all, to this side of things. But like truthfully, if he like listened to what Maomao said and went, holy shit, that's crazy, wow, like Maomao must have it really rough, and then went out and started to like talk to some other women around there, he would be like, hey, Maomao said this and this, and that like people might come after her if she does this. Like I guarantee you, like 95% of those women are gonna be like, yeah, duh. That's what we all deal with. That's the thing that all of us know. And it's just one of those things. Like I mean, it happens a lot in our everyday modern life, where we, especially, and I say we now as like men a lot of the time, struggle to realize, and I mean this is also the same like flipped, like women won't realize like the things that are actually difficult about being a man, but like men definitely won't realize the difficulties of being a woman unless they have like people that are very close to them that are women, and they get to see firsthand like just a taste of it. So like I have my sister and my mother. And then at some point in my life, I was in a long-term relationship. And like those times are when like I can see sort of things that are happening that are undesirable, let's say. And you start to see like sort of how common it is and how unfortunate it is. And then the more, you know, the closer you get with women, the more they'll confide in you, like actual things that happen to them. And it's really horrible and awful to think of that stuff. But a lot of them also have the same sort of response when like if you do just do something like Jinchi did, which is like, holy shit, that's horrible. We need to do something about that. Like a lot of them have the exact same response as Maomao, which is they just go like, well, yeah, it's awful, but I mean, I'm like, there's not much we can do, and I'm kind of sadly enough used to it right now. Like this is just how it is. This is like how it has always been. And yes, I would do anything to stop it from happening, but like I'm kind of resigned to the fact that that's not happening. Like this isn't going to change. So that's kind of the thing that Maomao is showing in that scene. And I think it's a pretty good representation of that situation. And so Maomao is just a very savvy girl. She is like, she's intelligent enough to know like, this is how the world actually is. This is how things actually work. And I'm going to do whatever I can to just make things easier for my life. And she's very good at that. And she does it in smaller ways and bigger ways. So the bigger ways she does it is like deliberately making herself less desirable with makeup and with freckles on her face and all of that. But then also the smaller things that she does are stuff like, you know, that pouch that she sewed into whatever, right? Like these like tiny little things in her everyday life, getting herself some food and like making it in like to the way that she likes it or whatever. These things help her in little bits in her everyday life. But then I also liked it in this episode, she said something along the lines of like when she like came up with this idea, and it was a very simple idea of like the pouch or whatever, then like a bunch of people kept coming to her door going like, can you do that for me, or can you teach me how to do that? And she said something along the lines of like, I guess when you're when everything's steeped in tradition, you're blind to the simpler things in life, right? And I think that's very true. Like it seems like what's happening here is everyone sort of just follows the way things are. Everyone just thinks, well, you do this and then you do this, and you're taught, you know, you have to do this way. It's sort of like when you get trained, when you start working at a new place, you work at a food place or whatever, and they'll tell you like, you know, when you come in, there has to be someone who teaches you how everything works. And a lot of the time, they teach you the way that they do it. So they just say like, okay, here's how we do it. We salt these chips like this, and we do this, and we turn on this machine like this. And, you know, maybe every once in a while, a new person might come in and go like, so why bother like turning this machine on like this when you can just do this? And then like a lot of the time, you know, the person will respond to either like, none of us have literally ever thought to do that, or the person will respond like, well, that's not the way we do things. We do things this way. And so that's what like tradition will do. A newcomer is likely to have like a fresh perspective because they don't have this idea of like, this is the way things are normally done. This is a tradition that we follow. So Maomao being that newcomer, and also being such a savvy girl, is helping to actually solve some problems that people didn't realize were problems. And I think that's very fun. Let's see, anything else that I want to talk about? It's interesting that she's like actually kind of becoming friends with that doctor as well, after it seems like she wouldn't like the doctor. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, and then there's a hairpin thing. Like he gave her his hairpin, which I imagine is like my first thought was it's like a proposal thing. Like it's literally saying like I'm claiming you as my girl. But I don't know. Like it could really. I guess my guess for what it means is basically that. Like it doesn't necessarily mean like a marriage proposal, but maybe it's like this is me showing the other high-ranking people or like low-ranking people or whatever. This is showing the other people around here that like Jinchi has said this is the girl he's keeping his eye on. You know, like this is someone who's earned my favor, and I respect and something like that. But I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. So next episode is gonna be the garden party. Let's jump into the episode with the garden party. This is episode 6 of Apothecary Diaries. Here we go. Is this
It's not like it's going to kill her or anything.
Li Shu? Maybe? It looks like the back of Li Shu's head. But I don't
The
know.
pocket warmers are helping, but still.
Not any treat, but in this weather, it's
Them all holding
torture.
each other is cute.
It's almost like this was arranged to encourage rivalry between the concubines.
I imagine that's part of it.
Look, that's the Empress Dowager.
Oh, she looks nice.
You know, she had the Emperor when she was just...
She must have worked hard to bury him.
Jeez.
So you don't want to look your best? That reflects poorly on your mistress.
Jeez. Okay, alright, don't start a fist fight.
Those are her ladies.
Still, not like it'd help that ugly girl out. No dress
What?
would.
Hold
Excuse me.
Does she mean me?
You're embarrassing yourself hiring someone like her. You take that
Oh my
back
god.
now.
Let's fuck him up.
Oh, calm down, please.
They really haven't noticed me?
Insist on acting up, I'll have no choice but to tell my father about you.
Oh.
I'll have to do things to you you'd never tell him.
Oh my god.
Apologize for Maomao this instant!
Aww. I love how protective they are of her.
Nothing to say. I'm done. Yes, I think we made our point. We ought to be leaving now. You should be thanking me. What's our deal anyway? Don't listen to those bullies.
They're so supportive. I love
Horrible
these
you are.
girls.
Oh,
Yet she refuses to complain and instead looks after us.
Yeah, she's sweet and apathetic.
He has taken her under his wing. She's so deserving.
they go, being delusional again.
That's the color you decided to wear?
Watch out.
My gosh,
Another
there's
proxy war.
yeah, there's so
Virtuous and
much
pure consort servants. They don't get along either.
toxicity
The former
here.
is 14 and arrived at the palace later, while the pure consort is
14?
35 and has been here the longest.
Is that
So
Li
they're
Shu
at
is
each other's
14?
throats. Afterwards, the late emperor's consort left the palace briefly, but returned
Okay.
and took on the role as the...
Then concubine Audril would have been about 30 years old at the time.
Oh my god.
Whereas the virtuous
I can't do
consort
it.
wasn't even quite 10 years old. Politics, but a consort at that age?
Unbelievable, right? Then the previous emperor's concubine
Oh my god.
was Lady Li Shu.
Oh my god. Ugh. Don't love that idea. Pouting the whole time.
Takes you by surprise, right? I mean, Lady Li Shu is still practically a child.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't know how to read the room?
Maybe she doesn't give a fuck.
Thank
Aw.
you. Those warmers?
You gonna give them some advice? Or give them
You
warmers?
can try holding these if you're cold.
Oh, no. Right.
Here.
Take her advice. Oh my god.
A hairpin?
Yep.
Yep.
See?
Yeah,
That's
you're
how
gonna
they
find
recruit
out.
the most exceptional workers here in the flower garden.
Okay.
But between us, it has another hidden meaning.
Interesting.
No.
Excuse
Answer.
me, I'm trying to gossip with you over
Yeah.
here.
Play along. You'll find out information. She didn't even ask. Maomao, be more curious.
Pardon me, miss. I'd like you to have this.
Thanks, man. That's kind of a nice
He's handing
one.
them out to everyone.
Why is he standing on his tippy toes?
Thanks.
My name's Lee Haku.
Lee
A
Haku.
pleasure.
Big dog energy.
What'd he just give
participation award.
I believe.
Is this one Liwa?
It's been some time. Indeed, my lady.
I'm trying to follow along as best as possible. Oh, she's gonna have her hair full of pins eventually.
I suppose that's all for today. Our mistress won't like this.
Oh,
That's an understatement if I've heard one.
it's like poaching.
So,
I mean, she's gonna stick with Gyokyo. Why not?
I don't see our sparkly eunuch anymore, but who cares?
You kind of care. You thought about him. Is that him doing that? No. Oh my gosh.
All tasters are expendable.
She's so
but
nervous.
there's a difference between me and... I'm probably the only one that enjoys eating.
Yeah, true.
It would be good right now if someone snuck pufferfish guts into the soup.
that lovely stinging sensation on the tongue. There's nothing else like it.
It's like having chili for her.
Focus.
She's
The
just like,
Emperor
please
loves
poison,
this
please
vinegar
poison
fish
me.
and vegetable dish. Guess she's not a fan of the fish. But the consort can't refuse to eat it.
Yeah.
Not in front of the Emperor.
I'd be so bad at this. I'm such a picky eater. I wouldn't be able to eat anything.
Wait, I know that girl.
Yeah.
I met her earlier.
And she's eating happily. Is she looking like that because it's poisoned? And she's like, yes. Oh my god.
Wow, it must be quite delicious.
She's like, yep, this one's poisoned.
This is poison.
The consort soup was tainted.
I love that. I love that she just like was so happy.
Found you.
Master Jinshi, what a beautiful
Look how good a mood she's
Yours
in.
seems better than mine.
I got excited about the poison and I smiled at him. At least I can dream about digesting it.
Oh my
on the
gosh.
ground in capacity.
Oh my god.
Coursing through my
He is so
body.
fucked up, Maomao.
Master Jinshi,
Yes, what?
can I please have the rest of the soup?
Idiot. Of course not.
Just eat.
Doubted the soup contained poison and decided to try it.
Surely there's no one that stupid.
A minister.
I was wondering why they said the minister passed out. I was like, what's the point of the tasters if you're gonna
Here,
drink it
It's
anyway?
an emetic agent to turn anyone's stomach inside out.
Isn't that also a poison?
Well, yeah, but it's a poison that'll get you to get out all the other poisons.
Is that a new hairpin?
Someone gave him a hairpin?
So, plus his normal sparkle is gone.
Because he was indecently engaged elsewhere?
Yeah, maybe.
Right, he's acting his age more than usual.
Yeah, I was thinking he's not
Rather, He looks quite a bit younger.
being as flirty right now. But maybe he's
kinda
being
prefer
extra
him like this.
protective of you.
Oh, wow. The Palace Infirmary has some seriously effective drugs. Oh. Yes, I'm all emptied out.
Lovely.
Biggest smile after
feeling
throwing up.
If you would, invite the virtuous consort Lady Lishu.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Master Jinshi.
She wanted to have a word with you.
Don't her.
What is it?
Oh, have you got
Pardon
a
me.
rash? Yes, you do.
What is wrong with her arm?
Some people. There are foods they
Is she
can't
allergic?
eat, but I couldn't. Every time it made my throat swell.
Okay.
And breathing became difficult. Even the smallest portions caused rashes.
So she does have one
Amounts is
big
difficult in
weakness.
healing. How is your stomach feeling, Lady Lishu? I can get you a laxative.
No, don't need a laxative. Women don't poop.
Someone made an error, and Lady Gyokyo's dish ended up getting switched with yours by mistake.
Oh.
You can't eat mackerel.
Right.
It's not merely about liking or disliking certain foods. This time it's lucky you only broke out in hives.
Yeah, could have killed you.
Would be the same thing as poisoning her.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, you're her food taster, right?
Yes, I am.
I've made instructions. What to do in case of an emergency.
Good.
Please take a look.
I like her being
They're not difficult to follow. A situation may occur no physician can remedy.
Yeah.
The results could prove lethal.
That's a lot of pressure.
So take care. And never, ever forget
That
that.
illustration's crazy.
That should scare her.
Yeah, like get her to take her job really seriously. I like her being forceful. It's really interesting.
It's not right for you to touch me.
You're the only one who has ever used that expression.
That's just because everyone else is being nice to you.
Hold it. Why did you request that the food taster be present as well?
So that she could tell her off.
If we assume none of the other dishes were poisoned.
I see.
Interesting.
So the matter with the wooden tablets. Do you think the two events are somehow related? Her
I
lady
forgot about
in
the
waiting,
wooden tablets.
I noticed she didn't have any burns on her.
Shit, man. Very, very enjoyable. Really great. So, here's the thing, though. This show is like, it's like a really interesting, great mystery show with lots of cool stuff going on, right? And you know, I've been told it's good to like make predictions and theorize and stuff like that. I'm not great at it. Like, I don't have any theories on a lot of this stuff, but I'm really enjoying watching it play out and watching how these characters and these situations interact with one another. And like this show so far has been very good at like at the end of an episode they'll start to explain something and I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And it's like something I didn't even think was like an issue I had in my mind until they start to explain it. It's really, really cool. And yeah, man, this show touches some dark subjects. I mean, like Li Shu being 14 and she is also like a mother-in-law, so she was like, what do they say, 9 at the time or whatever, like just like horrifying and fucking insane. But they really just like they touch on it and they move on because it's like this is the way the world is and was, especially. I mean, this show isn't, as far as I'm aware, this show isn't like real, like the locations and the settings and stuff, then they're all, it's not like it's based on real events or based on real people or anything. I mean, they do have that pop-up at the start of the episodes. It's like all of this stuff is fictional, right? But also, you know, like sometimes it's like the story can be fictional and the people can technically be fictional, but it's based on like a real place. This seems like it's based on, you know, it's based on actual traditions and stuff that have been held in our world or whatever, but it's not actually, you know, like they're not saying, I don't think that this isn't technically like, oh, this is Japan or this is China in this time period or whatever. It's like its own world, I think, is what it's supposed to be. So I mean, you can correct me on that in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. But you know, obviously it's there's definitely some inspiration taken from things that would have actually happened in the old days, and it's pretty awful by modern standards, you know. So like seeing them really highlight that stuff in this show, it's interesting because they're highlighting it in very overt ways while also being subtle about it. It's a very strange mix where it's like they're not shying away from it, they're not hiding it under the surface. It's like you can, in a first viewing, you'll notice this stuff happening, but they also don't dwell on it. It's not the injustices we're trying to solve within the show. It's almost just like historical context that they're draping over the top of it. Like, hey, look at this fucked up situation, but this is how it is. That's not the thing that the show's about. Like, the first episode started with Maomao being kidnapped and, like, taken to this place. And that's not, like, an ongoing plot. That's not, as far as the show has gone so far, the show isn't Maomao trying to get back to her dad or whatever. It's not that. The show is Maomao doing whatever she can in this place and being a good apothecary. Like, it's not about the fact that she was kidnapped in the slightest, which is really dark and really horrifying, that like her life was just picked up and moved to a new place against her will. And we're not even addressing it anymore. Like, it's just like, other than the whole thing about, oh, let's give debt to my kidnappers or whatever because we'd prefer them not be rewarded for that. Other than that, they just kind of haven't touched on it again. And that's like, I think that's really interesting. That's a really interesting way to approach the show. This series, it just feels like it's written by someone very intelligent, you know? Like, it feels like the person, I would feel intimidated if I was in a room with the woman, right, that wrote this series. If I was trying to have a conversation with her, she would start to talk about something and I'd be like, oh, I'm out of my element already. Like, I don't know how to keep up with this conversation, because she's just like, it seems like she knows a lot about historical, historical context, historical fiction. It seems like she's got a great grasp on storytelling, on mystery writing, on character work. I mean, character design. It's really interesting. And then on top of that, this has really interesting information on poisons, and I love when shows can teach me things and make it really, really engaging. Like the bits where they're actually, explaining how different poisons work, or different ways you can craft remedies or whatever. Whenever they're explaining that stuff in the show, I'm fully locked in, fully engaged, and I love that feeling. It's why I love Dr. Stone so much. Dr. Stone, in every episode, you can be learning genuine scientific theories or scientific experiments, or how things work that you've never thought about before, and they explain it in such a great way that you're like, holy shit, I like this, I like science. And it makes me, as someone who didn't really like science that much in school, it makes me go, this is making me interested. This show is really effective at getting me fully engaged in science, and finding it inspiring as well. And I feel like this show's doing that for being an apothecary, for poisons, and for medicine, and for all of that stuff. I love that Maomao loves poison. I think it's so, I adore her character. I love everything about her character. The character design is amazing, right? The voice acting is incredible. Fucking fantastic. I have no notes, right? I'm so glad I'm watching this in dub. This Maomao voice is everything to me. It's incredible. The switching between her being kind of cold, and her being apathetic, and her being brutal, and her being upbeat and cheeky and silly when it comes to apothecary stuff and poisons and gathering ingredients. That stuff, I love that balance in this character. And just simple stuff like the guy Lihaku watching her from afar, and watching as she picks up this soup and she takes a sip of it, and then you just see her blush, and she licks her lips, and she looks so invested and excited by it. And he's like, holy shit, that must be the best soup in the world. And then she looks up and goes, this is poison. It's really, really great. I love it. And it's funny because she says this is poison and then just stands up and walks away. So some minister was well, that's obviously bullshit. That girl just was this is poison, and walked away. Of course it's not poison. She just walked away, calmly. So he just goes up and goes, and then he fucking dies or whatever. No, he doesn't die because she gave them stuff that he can get it out of his system. But But it's just it's a very funny situation, I think. Yeah, but one thing we found out in this episode is that she is, I believe, allergic. They never used the term allergic, but I imagine they didn't use the term allergic because I guess it's probably just not something they know. It sounds like allergies aren't a commonly known thing right here, because she kept saying it like there are some things that people just can't eat because they like break out in hives or whatever. So I think it's just, they're just saying it's allergies, but they're just having to avoid using the word allergy because I guess they don't know it. But so it seems like there's allergies, and it seems like Maomao has a pretty severe allergy to buckwheat that she's tried to overcome but can't. Which makes me think, like, holy shit, that could be something. Here's the only theory that I've got for this show so far. That could absolutely be a plot line later on, is if someone specifically wants to take out Maomao. If someone specifically wants to kill her, and they know her weakness of buckwheat, they just put buckwheat in there, and she's in genuine danger, which is really interesting. Like, they've given her, because, like, or, you know, they set it up as like, oh, well, she's basically, you know, poisons aren't a huge deal to her. Now, I like, she's built up like a resistance to poison, but I don't think she's like immune to it. She still had to go and like cough it out and stuff. But I think it's just like she can, like, poison's, maybe it's like closer to like alcohol for her or whatever, where it's like, it's not doing good for my body. It's definitely damaging it in a way, but it's damaging it, you know, in a way that I can control and that I can deal with. But with that being said, like, buckwheat might be like a legitimate issue for her. So very interesting. Anyway, that was Apothecary Diaries, episodes 5 and 6. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a great time. I hope you did too. If you want to see more of my Apothecary Diaries reactions, I've got the next episodes on my Patreon account right now, so go check it out in the description below. Otherwise, support the video, please. If you want to see more Apothecary Diaries, if you're enjoying these reactions, please comment down below. Tell me you're enjoying them. Tell me what you enjoy about them, about what you like in the episode, what you like in the reaction. Like the video, watch the entire things. I mean, if you're watching this here, you probably have watched the whole video. But thank you so much. Go to my One Piece channel if you like One Piece, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.